Hello and welcome back to Gray's Gardening. I am Gray and thank you for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, thank you, welcome. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave me some comments. I'm getting more comments these days than I used to. So this channel is all about me documenting my journey throughout the seasons at my allotment and at my home, planting, repotting, what I'm growing, when I'm growing. Today I am here, so I've brought my plants down, the plants I've grown from seed to the greenhouse. I'll be showing you those in a second. I'm going to be doing some repotting. My Chilean Guava, my Japanese Wineberry, they need sorting out, so I'm going to repot them up. I've got a bit of tidying to do. I'll show you around the plot in a sec of what I'm going to be doing. So thanks for joining so far. Let's get started. Okay, so as mentioned, I've put down some of my plants to go in the greenhouse. Now it does get rather warm in the day and I don't have a window that automatically opens. That will be something for the future that I'm going to try and install. So I might just have to leave the door open a little bit because it does get rather warm in here. Right now it is, what's that showing, 29 degrees in the greenhouse. I'm already feeling a bit warm, but at night time the temperatures do drop. But I think we'll be okay in the greenhouse. I don't think we'll get any more frost, so we'll be okay inside the greenhouse. Maybe a frost outside, but we'll be okay in here. So I brought down my tomatoes. I sown these about 2 months ago, and here we've got plenty of variety. We've got the Moneymaker, the Marmonde, the Cherry, and the Sunblessed, which is a yellow cherry type tomato. They're all grown really healthy. Out of the 12 seeds I sowed, 11 of them germinated. So that was a good success. Here's all my sweet corn. I've got absolutely tons of sweet corn, and although I'll be planting most of them into my raised bed, I have got a plan for them. I'm going to make a tunnel, almost like a maze out of sweet corn. It won't be quite a maze, but it's going to be a tunnel where you walk in where you walk in the plot. As you go through the archway, that's where they're going to be. I've got 2 pumpkins. The pumpkins are looking good, and if you look just on here, I don't know whether you can see it, but that is actually a baby pumpkin already starting to form. Well, at least a flower anyway. If it gets germinated, it will be a pumpkin. There's another pumpkin, and then on the other side, I've got more sweet corn, and these are all my courgettes. And if I just grab a pumpkin plant, if you look at them, here we go. If you look at the pumpkin next to a courgette, they're very similar, which is why it's always important to label up your plants, because as they start growing at this stage you won't know what they are, and you don't want to be thinking you're going to get a courgette and next minute a pumpkin grows. So it's always good to keep an eye on that. Okay, so they're in here. As I say, I'm going to have to keep an eye on them, but we're just going to come out and I'll show you what else I'm planning to do. So we'll come down here. So this is the archway when you walk into the plot, and along this side here and this side here I'm going to grow, I don't know, about 10 sweet corn or so, and then make a little tunnel of sweet corn when you walk in. Last bit of weeding along here, I'll get that sorted. I did notice from my last video I haven't fully weeded around my new kiwi vine. The kiwi vine is growing nicely right down here. That's the new vine growing. So we're just going to take out those weeds around here. The back of the pond needs a good weed. I haven't even finished the pond yet, that's for another day, but I need to dig all that out, level that down a little bit. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be, well, another video is coming up where I'm going to be separating out my Gunnera manicarta. And those who know what a Gunnera is, it's got a few names. It's either dinosaur food or giant rhubarb is what it's known as, because these leaves, these can grow very, very large, almost 1 meter in diameter, and can actually go over your head. They can get that big. So I'm going to be separating that. That'll be fun. Either stick a spade through it or saw it down the middle. I don't know. That'll be that's a new video coming up. And then just coming around the back of the greenhouse again in the next week or so, I'm going to be installing a new solar powered watering system. I've had this one now about 5 years. It's getting a bit old, probably still does work, but last year was starting to get a bit clogged. So I've got a new one of them to put up, and new guttering, well, not new guttering that I've salvaged. Anyone with an allotment, it's always, well, anyone who's got an allotment will have a ton of spare materials to one side, and there's the guttering that I'm going to put up. So I'm going to have the guttering going all the way around the greenhouse, coming into the water butts. Got 2 water butts either side. They can fill up from the rainwater, and then from the butts themselves, these wires or tubes, they come out, and the solar powered pump pumps directly into the greenhouse and waters your plants for you when you're not there, as long as the water butts are full. So there you can water once a day, just in case you can't ever get down to your plot. And obviously inside the greenhouse is rather dry.
Okay, so this was the shot of the back of the pond before, and then after digging over all the weeds and clearing the back, this is the after shot. So it looks a lot better, managed to clear quite a bit, and whilst I was digging I found all these old block pavings around it. I don't remember putting them in, and it did make it a bit more difficult, but once they started coming out it was actually okay. However, as I was digging away I could feel a bit of stinging on my knee, and I thought I'd knelt on a nettle. However, once that pain started getting worse and worse, I stood up and looked at my knee, and it was absolutely covered in these little red biting ants. Now, I'm not sure the video is going to show, but my knee at this point is actually really swollen, and it's stinging like I've had the worst nettle sting ever. And on the other leg, and some of them went up a little bit higher, so I'm in a bit of agony right now. Anyway, shouldn't moan too much. Now, this is my apricot tree. This I show it all the time, but I want to just show you what I'm here to do also. So the trunk of the tree is known as the rootstock, and most fruit trees are grafted onto the rootstock itself, which is a different variety of tree. But often at the bottom you get what's known as suckers that start growing out, and that's the original rootstock tree trying to grow its own. So this won't be an apricot tree, but you need to remove them because it takes a lot of energy away from the tree, and you want it to be going into the apricots and the leaves, and so just snip them out. I've actually left them a bit too long, so I'm removing all them so that the tree itself doesn't put energy into making these suckers, and it should obviously put that energy into making the apricots instead. All done.
So I've decided now is the time to remove and replant the Chilean Guava. Some serious frost damage this year, never happened before, and I think he's a bit too sheltered, so I'm going to pop him in a big pot. Okay, so it came out actually easier than I thought. Took all the roots with it, and you can see there's lots of new growth in the bottom, so I'm not too worried. Give them some new soil, some nice new compost, keep them in this pot, put them in the sunshine, sure it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so there is a few holes already in the bottom of this pot. I'm just going to drill a few more in. Okay, so that will just help with the overall drainage. I'm going to then pop some gravel, big bag of gravel that I've got. I'm going to put a few handfuls of this in the bottom. Again, this will help with the drainage, but also give a bit of weight and stability to the pot so it doesn't blow over too easily. Too many, just a few handfuls. Then I'm going to put in some multi-purpose compost, peat-free as always. Got to look after the environment. A few good handfuls of that in there, break it up nicely. To give tons of goodness to the plant. I'm just filling up the bottom of this pot. A little bit more. And we go, the Chilean Guava, plenty of roots still on them. Make sure there's no weeds in there that I can get out now while I've got him. Much easier to do it like this rather than after he's been planted. And that's his own roots. We don't want those sycamore helicopters in there. They'll just make little trees left, right and centre. So there we go. Chilean Guava's now going in. Took his root down a little bit. Put him nice and central in the pot. And then just plenty more compost around the base of the plant. Just firming him in, not too much, not too firm, just enough to hold them in place. Now all this new compost, plenty of new feed within it, should help Mr. Chilean Guava really pick up now, I think. We'll keep him in the sunshine, give him a good water. I think I'll trim off a bit more of that dead mud. Give him a chance to really start bursting into life again. A bit more, don't want to fill it too full. Help if I got it in the pot. There we go. I think that's perfect. There he is, happy as Larry. So whilst I'm topping the pots up, this is the Japanese Wineberry, looking quite healthy. He's had them for a number of years now. I think there's some tiny buds just beginning, so I'll be able to get some of those. They're look a bit like a raspberry, but a bright red, a bit smaller. I'll show you them when they form, but all I'm going to do here is just put a nice, almost like a mulch on top of compost. As I water it, that goodness will seep down. And some of the roots were a bit exposed anyway, so cover him up. A bit more compost going in, and I think he'll be rather happy for it as well. So that is the Japanese Wineberry. So as I've been tidying the plot, I've managed to find these two little trees that I don't even remember planting. This one, luckily, still has the label in, which says a cherry tree, which made me remember that I planted a cherry stone off one of my cherry trees, and hence this is the new tree. So I'm going to top him up with a bit more compost on top. And this one, I actually don't know what it is. Something in the back of my mind says it's a lilac, but I just don't know. So we're gonna wait and see how that comes out this year, what it grows into. If anyone does recognise what this is, please drop a little note in the comment below, because I don't know what it is. But I'll give it some more compost and we'll see how it goes. No idea.
At this point my microphone has stopped working, so I'm dubbing over the top, but just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for your support so far. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks everybody, hope you're having a lovely bank holiday weekend. Take care, bye bye.